All right, everybody. Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 45 of Oscar Rewind, my series of video reviews that reflect the work of this past year's Oscar nominees and winners. I dig deep into those IMDb profiles, and my hope is that you will discover a new, older favorite or revisit something you maybe haven't seen in a while. As always, I'll be discussing the recent Oscar connection, awards history for the film, box office information, critical response, and as always, these reviews are spoiler-free. Now, before we jump in, do me a favor, please click that subscribe button. You won't want to miss anything coming to the channel this season on Rewind, and fun stuff coming this summer. So, we are focusing on the designers and their teams. I am looking at as many costume, production, makeup, and sound designers and team members that I can pack it in, and I'm so excited to talk about today's film, which, like yesterday's film, West Side Story, is a reimagining of classic literature. Yes, you see the poster? I am discussing Paramount Pictures' wonderful comedy 1995's Clueless. Written and directed by Amy Heckerling and based on Jane Austen's Emma, this hit which, I remember seeing this in theaters 30 years ago this summer. Man, I'm feeling old. At the end of its initial theatrical run, the film made $56,631,570 domestically, with an additional $27,580 internationally, for a total of $56,659,152. Now, with several domestic and international re-releases for the 25th anniversary, a 2023 release, and this year's 30th anniversary release, there have been some already, and there's still more that are coming. The film has added additional films, so as of this recording and posting, the current worldwide total is $56,753,362. But again, with additional screenings coming for the 30th anniversary, that number could go up. Ratings-wise, this film currently sits with an 82% critical rating from 125 reviews and a 76% popcorn meter culled from over 250,000 audience reviews. Now, award season-wise for this film, Alicia Silverstone was named Best Breakthrough Performer by the National Board of Review, and Amy Heckerling's script was nominated for Best Screenplay by the New York Film Critics Circle, the Writers Guild of America, and won the prize from the National Society of Film Critics. This film, beloved by multiple generations, Silverstone won Best Female Performance and Most Desirable Female at the MTV Movie and TV Awards, which also nominated it for Best Movie and Best Comedic Performance. And Silverstone won Favorite Female Newcomer from the Blockbuster Entertainment Awards. Wow, anyone else out there miss Blockbuster Video? And also Funniest Actress in a Motion Picture leading role at the American Comedy Awards. So, besides a love for this film, where's my Oscar connection? So, it is for Paul Massey. With an impressive resume under his belt, Paul Massey earned his 11th Oscar nomination this year, serving as the re-recording mixer on the sound team for A Complete Unknown. Of these nods, he is an Oscar winner, being part of the team for 2019's Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, with over 240 sound department credits to his name, while Clueless wasn't his first credit, he was the re-recording mixer for this film, and it's an awesome one, that's why it's here. And now, before I get into it, you may be saying, well, what is the re-recording mixer? Well, the buck stops with them, as they combine all the elements, sound, music, dialogue, ambient effects, into the final soundtrack that invades our ears for the extent of a film. And Clueless definitely fits a soundtrack that is a joy to hear. So, Clueless. Meet Cher Horowitz, played by Silverstone. She is Beverly Hills royalty, beloved by everyone. She's the queen bee of her school, but she does not rule in a Regina George kind of way. She's a genuinely good-natured soul who helps care for her father, the tough lawyer Mel, played by Dan Hedaya. She lost her mother to a routine liposuction incident years prior. They kind of throw that one in there. And look, she loves to spend her time shopping and hanging with her bestie, Dion, or Dee, played by Stacey Dash. One day, while working out in PE, they meet new transfer student Ty, played by the late, great Brittany Murphy, who doesn't fit the popular stylish realm that Cher and Dee rule over at their very trendy high school, so they decide to take under her wing and make her cool and popular like them. In this, we are exposed to the rest of Cher's very privileged world. A student who truly believes she is anything but clueless, she inserts herself into various people's lives and situations, believing she can make things better for them, as well as for herself. Take her manipulation to help her teachers, Mr. Hall, played by Wallace Shawn, and Miss Geist, played by Twin Kaplan, to get together. Or try to herald a love life for Ty with her friend Elton, played by Jeremy Sisto. Or possibly for herself with new transfer student Christian, played by Justin Walker. Or keeping her dad on his respective diet. Also, she needs to get her life together, which is made somewhat difficult by the constant presence of Josh, played by everyone's favorite comedian, Paul Rudd, her stepbrother, who was son to Mel's recent second wife. Much as she'd like him to be gone, as Mel says, you divorce wives, not stepchildren. As she ultimately tries to get everything moving, she slowly learns she may not have it all together, and she might just be as clueless as the others. That's the gist, and those who have seen this film know it very well and know I left stuff out. And for those who may not, I don't want to say anymore because this really is one to watch. Heckerling's screenplay is a very smart update of the original material, and she excellently captures that Gen X era in speech and tone perfectly. The writing, it's sharp, it's quippy, it's performed by such a game cast that this one is worth multiple rewatches. Silverstone was stepping out of, the Aerosmith videos and a handful of suspense films, and she proved to be a true comedic force. From her opening introduction to her closing narration, she is both adorably clueless and completely captivating. She imbues the character of Cher with such an honesty that you can't help love her even when she isn't necessarily making the best life choices. Surrounding her is a comedy cavalcade that keep the laughs coming quick and relentlessly, but in a way that doesn't feel like it can transcend beyond a simple gimmick. The other great highlight, I have to say, is Paul Rudd. Early on in his career, pretty much some short films and a Halloween film, he really started to show his comedic movie star charisma here in this early performance, and the chemistry between him and Silverstone is really undeniable, even if some people do say it's a little cringy because of the relationship these two characters have. Small spoiler, they're step siblings, and, well, look, I'd be remiss if I didn't reference that relationship because that plotline is so enjoyable to watch. Visually, the film is like a big helping of cotton candy. All the clothes are bright and vibrant. It almost, it plays like the Technicolor version of Beverly Hills 90210. It's a heightened reality, which is a great approach to the material, because you can see that some of it really is a satire. And, since he's the reason we're here, let's talk about Massey's work. There are a lot of elements blended here, from the very singable soundtrack, which I believe I played on cassette on replay years ago, probably till it wore out. Don't judge me. To a really jubilant score by David Kittay, and capturing the constant, cell phone rings of the Zach Morris-sized cell phones, the clicking of, Cher's multiple heels as she's walking. Everything just works in sync and perfectly imbues us into this world. Massey has continually shown constant excellence in his work, which is evident from the multiple Oscar nominations, as well as other delightful projects that I was happy to see on his resumes. Film I've seen multiple times, like Exit to Eden, While You Were Sleeping, Happy Gilmore, Cruel Intentions. Chances are, you've heard his work somewhere. Look, Clueless, I really want to say it's 5 stars. It's great. There's some stuff in there that I would like to tweak. So look, I'm going to say this. It is a strong 4-star film. There's a lot that delights. It's like a warm blanket that you can kind of wrap yourself up in, with excellent performances and a solid story that's visually enjoyable. So, if you haven't seen Clueless, if you haven't seen Clueless, I feel like everyone has seen this movie. But if not, you have a lot of opportunities to see it. It's the 30th anniversary. If you can catch one of the screenings, see it in theaters just for the fun. If not, it is streaming. You have several options: Netflix, Peacock, and Paramount+. All right, there you have it. As always, if you like what you heard here, please click that button, subscribe to the channel, like and share the video, spread the word. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd, and find lots of great additional content on my website, cinephilemike.com. All right, happy watching, everyone, and until next time, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.